When I decided to get fit, I actually even used the power of self-image because I was reading the psycho-cybernetics books and shit, and I was just like, but I think it was either on the video or in the book somewhere, somebody said how people don't understand that losing weight is actually more an identity thing. Because if you said, I'm skinny, or I'm fit, or I go to the gym every day, or whatever identity you want to be or you aspire to be, if you can adapt that to yourself, then what will happen is your brain will start doing all the stuff that makes it true. It doesn't mean that you're skinny today. It just means that a skinny person wouldn't eat that burger. It just means a skinny person might have a scoop of ice cream or a bowl, but they're not going to eat the whole quart. Because you identify as a skinny person, you're just going to start doing the stuff that skinny people do. It doesn't mean that you are today that. It just means that once you adapt that as your identity, you now show up to be that. You show up to do that stuff. If you say, oh, I'm a reliable person. Well, when somebody asks something of you, you're going to show up to be that. How Dolly was telling us the other day how she if she says something, she has to do it, and she holds herself accountable. But she doesn't understand that's just her self-image kicking in. Because if you told somebody of value to you, because it doesn't have to be a value to me, or we don't have to give a fuck. But if you find that person to be valuable, and you told them this is what you are, or this is what you do, then you're going to show up to make that true because you care about that. That's your self-image. And at the end of the day, you're going to show up to make sure it's true. And I think that people don't use that to their advantage. You can easily wake up, open your eyes, and decide today or from now on, I identify as this. And then, so you could say I identify as somebody who invests in the stock market, right? Because we were talking about Warren Buffett. That's what he does. That's what he did. That's what he decided he did. But if any of us decided to do the same, and that's what we did, then every day we would say, well, I should probably look at the Fidelity app. I should probably read up on this today. Because that's what somebody who invests in the stock market would do. That's what you're going to rationalize to yourself. You're just going to rationalize to who you are.
Every day.
And programming is always in play. So you have to show up to remind yourself. And it might take a couple reps before you really nail it in there. But Summer! I think the washer's done.